Everyone, this is Jay, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to send emails with Python. So I was just recently playing with Python and I came across this cool library. It's called SMTP-lib. Okay, and essentially what this library enables us to do is establish connection with the SMTP server and send emails through our email account. Okay, so let me show you how this works. So let me go to my email, and as you see over here, I have nothing in my email Dropbox. Okay, and if I go back to the code and run this script, I should get something in my email. As you can see, I got this new email, right? So let me go back to the code and show you how this works. So it's very simple. As you can see, it's not a lot of code and very easy to read, okay? So the first thing we need to do is import the SMTP library. Okay, we need to import this module from the SMTP library. Okay, and this is the only library that we need to send emails, but also using this email message module from this email library, and this is only a utility that helps us create the message, so it's not really required, but it's a nice tool that we can use to make it just easier for us to send emails. Okay, to basically form the message. Alright, so the next thing we need to do is provide our credentials. So you need to provide your email address, the email address that you're connecting to with the SMTP server, the email address that you send an email to, and your password, the password to your email address. Okay, and what I did is I put all my credentials inside a .env file over here, and I through Python I opened this file and read all of them. Okay, so I have all my credentials over here. Obviously I don't want anybody to see my credentials, so I just put them inside .env file and I read them with Python. Okay, so next what I did is I created the message. Alright, so the message is basically a text file over here. I made a text file, and you can put anything inside over here. Bunch of gibberish. Okay, and save it. It's not going to affect anything. Alright, and then we create a message. Now we create the message. So what I did is we opened this file with Python, the message.txt file. We opened it with Python, and then we make the message object with this module over here that we just imported. Okay, and then we give it everything inside this message.txt. Okay, so with the set content, so this is basically is going to be the body of the email address. So everything that you need to say inside the email address is going to be inside that message.txt, and then that message.txt we are reading that file and giving it all into the set content to give it to the message object. Okay, and then we also defining some other stuff like the subject, and you can here have anything you want to. You can change it. For example, I just had Python email script, and the from, this is basically the from that is going to show inside the email, is going to show from the email address. Okay, and the to. Okay, and this is basically the email address that is going to send it to. This is only for the message. This is not really important. You can just ignore these and not really have them, but this is only like to show that the email address, the email that we're sending is a really legitimate email and looks like a normal email. Okay, so and then so this is really, you don't need to have it. This is for something else. So basically this is if we need to make the message as a string. Okay, so you don't need to know about this. This is really like nothing. So next thing we need to do, this is where all the stuff that is happening. So next thing we need to do is open the server, open the SMTP server, and with the SMTP we are opening an SMTP server, and then when we open with the SMTP server, we need to provide some the type of email client that we're using. So in this case, I'm using Gmail, so this is what I'm using, smtp.gmail.com, and you can research this, Google this, and find what kind of client you're using. So in the case if you're using Yahoo, I think it's smtp.yahoo.com, and the port number, it's always the same port for the SMTP server. It's always going to be 587. All right, so and then we are starting the connection basically, and this I'm not really expert on this, so this is basically what I read. It just started the connection and it start encrypting the data. So if I take you to the document over here, you can tell for yourself what it does really. So over here, if I come down, this is the method smtp.startTLS, okay? And basically what it says it put the SMTP connection in TLS transport layer security mode, and all SMTP commands that follow will be encrypted. So basically what it does is it established the connection, it put it in the transport layer security mode, and everything that comes after this line will be encrypted. So all the messages that we will send is going to be encrypted. Okay, and this is this s.ehlo. What it does is, again, I'm not really expert on this, but what I read over here, it says that this is basically identify yourself to the server over here. It's basically identify yourself to the ESMTP server using EHLO. Okay, so yeah, so this is what it does, and then we log into the SMTP server using our credentials from above over here. So you provide your email address, the email address that you are using to send this email address, so, and the password. Okay, so this is going to be the from address and the password. And also one more thing I forgot to mention, inside your env file, make sure that you format your credentials in order, because the way I'm reading the credentials in my script over here is it's going to affect the way you have them over here. So inside my script, I'm reading them. The first line is going to have to be the from address, and the second line is going to have to be the to address, and then the password is going to be the last line. Okay, so you're going to have to have them in that order for that to work. Okay, and it's going to be just the email. It's not going to be like email equal this or anything, just going to be email. So it's just like a normal file. You don't even have to have a .env file. You can just put them in the regular file. But I was just looking into .env, how to read .env file with Python, and I had to download some pip. With pip, I had to download some module, and I was like, I'm not going to do that. That sounds like a lot to do. So yeah, so what I just did, I just read them with Python open. Okay, so anyhow, so now that we logged into the server, and now what we do is we're gonna try, but because this sometimes may fail. Okay, so we're gonna put it in the try except block, and we say try send, and we provide it send message, and we provide the message. So this is the message object that we just created over here. Provide it to the message send message method, and then after it's sent, we're gonna print it's done, and then we're gonna quit. Okay, basically this is gonna disconnect from the server, and in case of something happening, any error messages, it's gonna print the error over here. Okay, so let's try this one more time. If I run it, sending and done, and then if we go back over here, refresh, I got 2 emails. You say over here it says 2, so I got 2 emails. So this is really simply what it is, and this is what's inside of it. This is messages from this is the gibberish that we sent the second time. So yeah, it's very simple, and I'll have all the code on my GitHub account if you're interested. And I also forgot to mention one more thing. You need to enable this this option over here on your Google account for this to work. So really, this is not going to work unless you do this. So you need to have this enabled on the account that you are sending the email from. Okay, so you need to have this enabled. And also, I wanted to say that this will work only for Python 3. Okay, so for Python 2, I have another script over here. It's basically just a very similar script, okay, but it just the modules are really different, okay. But this is gonna work only for Python 3. So if you try it, I can actually try it right now. So I'm using Python 3. So if I try it right now, it's gonna work. But if I try it with Python 2, it's not really gonna work. So let me show you. Run it. Okay. As you can see, it's not gonna work. So this is only for Python 3. So yeah, as I said, I have another script over here, and this is for Python 2, and it's basically the same script, just a little difference. Name of modules a little different. So yeah. That's all I have today, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.